Hello, thank you for joining us for our week with the Montclair Times. I'm Deidre Malloy, and I'm joined by Mark Porter, editor of the Montclair Times. Good afternoon, Mark. How are you?
Great, Deirdre. Thank you for being alongside of me and talking about Montclair. And it's a fascinating week to talk about our town.
Yeah, we've got lots of exciting things that have been happening over the past week within Montclair. And I'd like to just get started with one of the most important events that have occurred recently. It's the Montclair buyback of the firearms that have happened. And I'd like to ask you, what is your opinion about that? What's your insight on that?
Well, it was very successful, Deirdre. We had a couple of Montclair residents who offered a fund of $10,000 for Montclair to conduct a gun buyback program. And this was motivated by the massacre of school children and teachers in Connecticut at the Sandy Hook School. Mayor Robert Jackson and First Ward Township Councilman Bill Herlock reached out, and they ended up connecting ultimately with the State Attorney General's office, along with the Essex County Prosecutor's office. And the state took charge of the gun buyback program. It's the third one, I guess, in the past year or in recent years that has been done in New Jersey. And this one was largely a county-wide buyback. There were 5 municipalities, Montclair being one of them. 6 houses of worship were the venues for the gun buyback. And it was done last Friday and Saturday, and it was very successful. More than 1,700 guns were purchased from people who own those guns. And Montclair, one house of worship, Union Baptist, ended up collecting almost half the guns in the whole program last weekend. 716 firearms were collected.
I think that's pretty significant. And I have to also believe that it certainly shows that people are more aware and more conscious of the fact that firearms can be dangerous if they're left unattended or in the hands of the wrong individuals. And so I think this is a great turnout for Montclair, and it speaks to a community at large who is very socially conscious of the safety for firearms.
Well, Montclair is socially conscious about a lot of things that impact the United States, and it was logical that we had a couple of anonymous donors who offered the money. We had a couple of elected leaders who took the initiative, and we had a tremendous turnout in a house of worship here in town. And you have to believe that some of the firearms may have caused problems or deaths or woundings of people if they weren't removed. And even if one firearm was removed that could have made a fatal difference in someone's life, it's good that it was taken off the street.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so with that, hopefully this will be an annual event or a more frequent event.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there are thousands of firearms out there that are still, in places that they may not should be.
Right.
And so
and really the state has done 3 buybacks. Essex County was the 3rd, but we're a large state and heavily populated, and there are places all over New Jersey where a gun buyback program makes sense.
That's so true.
And the success here in Essex County can really hopefully be sustained in Essex County, but also ripple out to places all over New Jersey.
Yeah. This is great, and it happens to be on the front page of the Montclair Times, and so I'm hoping that everyone in the municipality will feel encouraged about that and look forward to supporting it more in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Were there additional insights that you wanted to share about that?
Just said, this made a lot of sense to a lot of people, including at the state level. This was the Christie administration supporting this, a conservative Republican governor who actually helped make this happen. His attorney general, advocated this and really took the initiative. So this is one of the examples of a bipartisan effort. Montclair is overwhelmingly Democrat. It's a very progressive town that, voted for Barack Obama twice, about 80% of the residents, and yet, we worked alongside of Chris Christie, well, his Attorney General, and it also shows that in Montclair and everywhere else, there are people who own firearms, and some people are turning them in for ethical reasons. And honestly, I did meet somebody, Deirdre, who did turn in an old shotgun, collected $150 for turning it in, and said he was going to use the money most likely to go out and buy a better firearm.
Wow, wow.
So not everybody was doing it for the reasons that may have motivated the buyback program intellectually. But nonetheless, it's taking a firearm off the street that might be put to bad use.
Right, right. And, this is not to say or suggest that every person who owns a firearm is going to put it to bad use. It is saying that to the community that if there are firearms out there that are no longer in use and could potentially be in harm's way, here's an opportunity to get rid of it, recycle it, get a few dollars in your pocket to put to good use or whatever you decide you want to.
Right.
So
in Montclair, Deirdre, they were going to melt the firearms. In Newark, there are skilled craftsmen and craftswomen who are going to make jewelry, I believe, out of components of pistols and rifles. Showing that something that could, okay, maybe used for targets, maybe used for hunting animals, maybe used for self-protection, or maybe used to go after other human beings.
Right.
These can be converted into works of art and not as instruments of lethality.
Right, and that would be a great thing to see a jewelry item made out of firearm and then perhaps used to raise money for a good cause like
exactly.
firearms awareness or training or something to that effect.
Awareness and training are essential, for anybody who owns a firearm.
Right.
And it's a successful program, and let's see more of it. And that's an invitation to our state leadership, the legislature, and the governor. And let's see more of these buybacks, and let's make a difference. Every individual can make a difference in something like this.
Absolutely, and so we certainly highlight this article to commend everyone who was involved all across the municipalities and especially here in Montclair. Thank you. Now, turning to other great articles and happenings and events in Montclair, we're in the winter season, and this winter we've been fortunate to have lots of snow. And we happen to have an article in the Montclair Times that talks about how the township is looking into snow removal contracts. Some people get out early and take care of their own snow, and other people just stay inside and hope someone else will come and do it for them. What is your insight on what the township is looking to do with the contracts?
Well, Montclair has dramatically improved its snow plowing under the past two township managers, Joe Hartnett, followed by our current manager, Mark DeShield, and their employees in the Department of Community Services. There's been a noticeable improvement in snow plowing. It's one of those complaints that I grew up in Montclair, I've lived here since 1988, and I used to work in Central Jersey. I'd come home, drive through Bloomfield, drive through Glen Ridge, hey, the roads are plowed, and I could always tell when I hit the border of Montclair, I'd be grabbing the steering wheel and cutting my speed in half because the roads were unplowed or covered with an icy sheen. And, hey, Glen Ridge is fine. Why isn't Montclair? West Orange is fine. Clifton is fine. Irvington and Orange are fine. Why is Montclair so dreadful? Well, it's no longer dreadful. I commend not only Joe Hartnett and Mark DeShield, but really the folks who are actually in the front lines, the guys in the garbage trucks and the snow plows, the workers who are out there usually in the middle of the night struggling, with big vehicles to keep our roads clean, and often having to deal with people who don't move their cars, before a snowfall. But they've made a significant difference in town, and it's not as bad by any means as it once was. But we do privatize some of the snow plowing. We don't have enough public employees to do all the work. And there was a concern early in February, in the last big snowfall, with the lack of snow plowing in several of the lots. And there's an article that does talk this coming week, on Mark DeShield and the municipal government, the township council, looking at alternatives to the contractor who was plowing those particular lots, because nobody was really satisfied with their productivity.
And so it seems that the township and the town manager, Mark DeShield, is taking a proactive measure in trying to improve the services for the snow plowing situation and the contracts that service the township. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are many people in Montclair. Montclair is a town of activists, whether it's on, you name the subject, and there'll be people who are forceful, articulate, activists who want to improve things or change things. And, there are business people galore who are upset whenever there's a parking lot filled with unplowed snow, because that means there are less customers, less patrons, less patients for doctors, less diners at different local restaurants and cafes. An unplowed lot ripples out and affects numerous entities. And it's vital, because parking is of tremendous limitation in Montclair. We're not a town teeming with parking decks.
Yeah.
So you need to get the lots plowed as quickly and thoroughly as a private franchisee or a public entity can do.
Yeah. And obviously it affects the local economy, and hopefully as this process improves, there will be a little bit more patience, because we always have to be patient in the snow. And so it's a good thing that the township is taking the matter seriously and looking into it for improvements for everyone.
But I do want to just again emphasize, I've really been impressed, with the public workers. Like the guys who normally pick up your trash and pick up the recyclables. Well, these are the same workers who are out there, behind snow plows, and generally doing a tremendous job under a lot of pressure. And kudos to those guys.
Absolutely, and they're out there all of the time, all season long, and they're certainly noted, and we appreciate the public workers of the Township of Montclair as well. And on another note, a happy note, there's an article about a parade that's being planned in the city of Newark.
That's correct.
And I think that's what, St. Patrick's Day?
Yes,
Yeah.
Deirdre.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, let's see. For people with Irish-sounding names like Deirdre Malloy,
which is Irish, actually.
Montclair's always had, we're a wonderful melting pot. People from every part of the world live in Montclair, and to the best that the majority of residents adhere to it. We want to be a welcoming place for every religion, for every ethnicity, every race, every belief. And Montclair had a large Irish American population like a century ago, and right now there's a big effort to by Montclairites as well as people from other towns to help organize the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Newark, one of the bigger St. Patrick's Day parades in New Jersey. And that's the first of a series of articles we're going to be doing. And we expect in the weeks ahead to have a couple more articles in this series going emerald, green.
Great. So listen, we're going to end on that note. Thank you for joining us today, and I thank you, Mark, for just giving us your insight on some of these great articles. Hopefully you'll go out and get the Montclair Times, and we look to see you next time. Thank you for joining us.
Did you know you can have your taxes done for free right in your own neighborhood? Thanks to United Way, you don't have to spend money on your tax preparation to get money back. I am one of hundreds of volunteers trained by the IRS, and I'm here to help you get the tax credits you deserve. Dial 211 to find out about locations in this area.
Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of Montclair Sports Roundup, where we bring you all of the views and reports and scores of all the local highlights from all the high schools and youth programs we got going on in town. My name is Garland Thornton.
I'm Pam Reilly.
And I'm Roger Terry.
You know, Raj, it's great to have our third co-host
That's
here,
not
Miss
a
Pam
partner.
Riley, here today.
Yes,
you
it
know, Pam, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's
Get
good to
you
be back.
in the swing of things.
Thank you.
The team has not just been the same. We all express condolence for your loss and
Thank you.
everything like that.
Thank you
And,
very much. I appreciate that.
I've had a loss myself this year, you know, but we've learned a lot from them people.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and ironic as it is, they're buried very close together.
They are
you know, So
indeed.
we can go down and visit
We'll,
and say
we'll
some
chat,
words from
chat
time
them
to
up
time.
together
That's
from
right.
time to time, right?
That's right.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to start off with the week of February 11th, and I think, Raj, you're going to start off with
Yes,
that.
indeed. Monday, February 11, 2013. Basketball girls. We have Lackadair 20, Newark Eastside 18. We have hockey, MKA 6, Livingston 2. MKA always has a powerhouse in hockey. We have hockey. We have Montclair High School 7, West Orange 2. We have a Belleville in wrestling, 68, Montclair High School 12, and I'm glad to see that they're back on the board.
Yeah.
And things are improving a little bit. I understand with the program, and that's great because you work your program very well to be in tune with the high school
Right,
program.
right.
Swimming boys, Ridgewood 97, Montclair High School 73. Wrestling, Montclair High School 24, Plainfield 18.
All right, Mount.
Now we're going to move
There
over
we
to
go.
Tuesday, February 12th. We have wrestling, Newark Eastside 54, Montclair 27. Girls basketball, Mount St. Dominic's 57, Montclair High School 41, and Montclair High School has some injuries right now,
Yes.
you know, on their team. Hopefully that, you know, they'll get better by the time the states come around, hopefully, but I'm
Hopefully.
not sure. Is what I'm
Hopefully.
told
Now,
at this time.
what level of game was that one for the Montclair High School? Is that the county still, or no, are they still involved?
That
in
was
counties?
the second. That was the second part of the home and home
Oh, okay.
between.
Regular season game,
Yeah,
okay.
regular season game. No,
Okay.
and unfortunately, the Montclair is no longer in the.
That is right.
In
We
the
did
county.
report that last week.
But
Yes.
they're still in the states now, is
No,
that
the
correct?
the girls were in the counties as of this past Saturday.
Okay,
Oh,
good enough.
okay.
So the
That's
girls
when East
now,
Orange, they lost when East
correct,
Orange, yes.
correct.
Good. Okay. We have Science Park 53, Montclair Immaculate 49. That's girls basketball. Basketball boys, Montclair High School 57, Montclair Kimberly Academy 34, and Pam, turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. That was that 57-34 score was quite a turnaround from when we visited MKA. That was
Yeah.
a much tighter game. I think what was happening with our guys is we were having a little difficulty making layups and free throws. So, but Montclair definitely, seemed to be getting on track in that game, and they really were in command from the beginning. So that's a good thing, and they're doing quite well this
And
year.
kudos to the coach. I understand
Absolutely.
he's doing a great job
Absolutely,
with those young men.
he is, and they really are starting to gel. And this, of course, is the best time for that to happen. So,
Good, yes.
but moving on to Wednesday, February 13th, in hockey, MHS 6, Paramus 1. In boys basketball, Newark Collegiate 68, Montclair Immaculate 40. In girls basketball, MHS defeated Newark Tech by a score of 57-49. MKA defeated Newark Central by a score of 46-42. And again, Newark Collegiate Okay, I'm not sure. I have North Collegiate 65, Montclair Immaculate 42, so I'm not sure. Okay, that's girls basketball. I apologize for that. And moving on to Thursday, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
my. Not going to touch that. No.
Leave it
We're not,
alone?
you know,
All right.
yes. My mother is my Valentine
Yeah,
currently,
yeah.
and I blew her up with all kinds of flowers and balloons.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But in boys basketball, Cedar Grove 40, Montclair Immaculate 25, MHS 44, Livingston 33, NKA 48, West Orange 46. In girls basketball, West Essex defeated MKA 58 to 48. Barringer defeated Montclair Immaculate by a score of 71 to 52. And in fencing, boys fencing, Gil St. Bernard defeated MKA 16 to 11. And also, it looks like, not sure if this is another match with them, but it says Gil St. Bernard 14, MKA 13. And I'm going to hand off to Garland.
All right, so now we'll move on to Friday, February 15th. In girls swimming, we have Westfield 116, Montclair High School 54. In hockey, MHS 2, West Essex 0. MKA 5, Point Pleasant Borough 2. And in NJSIAA Indoor Track Championships, non-public B girls, MKA tied for 6th place in a pole vault. By Lindsay Ross Trevor, who took 1st place for MKA.
All right.
All right, congratulations, Lindsay.
Congratulations.
On Saturday, February 16th, in boys basketball, we have Montclair High School in the regular season game defeated Bergen Catholic 62 to 49. Montclair High School is currently 18-5 on the season, and this is a great thing. You know, we talked about Coach Hill, I believe it is, and, you know, his first year, and I can't even tell you the last time that Montclair High School had almost, you know, 18 or 21 season.
That's right.
You know, I mean, I might be wrong, but I know from
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
You're right.
It's been a while. It's
But it's a
definitely been
pleasure
a
to
while.
see, you know, the fundamentals, and, you know, that's not a knock on any other teams, but just to see that how well the teams have been playing this past year.
Absolutely.
It's good to see.
Absolutely.
In girls basketball, as we briefly noted, that the East Orange Jaguars defeated Montclair High School 49 to 44, and the Montclair High School girls are currently 13-8 on the season right now.
Now, was that the ECT tournament?
That was the
That
Essex
was the
County.
tournament game.
That was
And what
correct.
round was that?
That was the semifinal.
Wow.
Yeah, so they made it to the
That's a
semi.
shame,
Yeah.
boy. They made it right up there and then got knocked out. But, you know, kudos to them.
Yeah, and they were actually, it was a very, very, it was a close game. It could have gone either way, obviously, by the score. But Montclair High was, you know, we played well at particular times, and then we had a couple of trips down the court. In a game like that, you really, you have to kind of, I'm trying to figure out how the best way is to say this, but minimize your mistakes. You know, each time down the court when you have to score, you almost have to be, everything has to be pretty precise. You kind of can't really go down and turn the ball over. You can't go down and, make costly mistakes in a match like this, in a contest like this. So, but kudos to them, and they are without one of their, I call one half of the Twin Towers. Taylor Manning Drake has been injured for, I think, a couple of weeks now. She still has that boot on her foot, so I don't really foresee her coming back to the team, because she still has that boot on.
Unfortunate.
So it is, but you know, we've had other people step up, and that's what they're going to have to do, going forward. So
Okay. We'll move on to wrestling, where we have Shabazz 30, Montclair High School 24. And also we have Glen Ridge 48, Montclair High School 24 as well. So, you know, it's close matches for the wrestling teams trying to make a turnaround on their season, trying to make something of it. And also on Sunday, February 17th, in boys basketball, we have Pennington 77 and MKA 43, which rounds out the week as far as that. Also, you know, what we hinted on a little bit last week, you know, we have a couple of, signings last week from colleges, and we kind of have a list here where students from all the high schools here in town who signed letter of intent to go to college. And we'll just go down the list real quick. We'll take a few. Fabiana Citro for field hockey signed to Siena College. Deja Davis for soccer signed to LaSalle University.
And these are basically student athletes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
We realized that most of our students in Montclair High School do go to college. So
Right.
we're talking about student athletes now,
Right.
of course.
We also have Kayla Jenkins in soccer. Will be attending the University of Pittsburgh.
Panthers.
And Courtney Macaro for field hockey will be at Salve Regional University up in Rhode Island.
okay. And then we have Also, soccer, Haley Snyder will be attending Dartmouth College, very, very good school.
Yes, indeed.
Clarence C.J. Sears will be going to Long Island University, which was formerly known as C.W. Post, so it's Long Island Post University now. Amos Campbell will be attending Towson State on a football scholarship. Kamani Odrick will attend Stony Brook. Brandon Taylor will be attending St. Francis, and previously signed and attending are Sam Zeff and Nate Crutchfield. Both are attending UMass.
Now, they did an early graduate. They graduated in January.
Right. They did an early departure. They're in school now, actually. They did, they came back for the banquet, of course. But that's an option that a lot of student athletes are.
Well, I know a lot
Great.
of, teams in the South do that, and in the Midwest they do that. Do that. But that's congratulations to them to do that.
Absolutely.
While we doing that up there, they'll be ready for like spring ball.
Yes.
Awesome.
Excuse me.
We have some MKA student athletes who have signed letters of intent. Mark Phillips in lacrosse going to University of Vermont. We have Matt Lane in lacrosse going to Syracuse University.
Wow.
Very good.
We have Desmond Cole, field hockey, University of Penn. We have Carly Till in soccer going to Monmouth University. And we have Ollie Bond in lacrosse going to Catholic U. Congratulations to all of our student athletes who are going away to school. This is some of the best times of your life. Enjoy.
And also, on a recreation note, I just want to put the little word out again as well. Registration is going on now on our new online access on Community Pass. That's communitypass.net. You can register for baseball and softball programs. That's currently going on, and baseball season will begin in April and will continue on through June. The late fees have been pushed back to allow more kids to register in. And, I know everyone's usually coming out of all the winter programs right now, so trying to build the registration back up for that as well. And also, I would like to thank everyone. Yesterday, this past Sunday, we had our Montclair Pop Warner Bulldogs award assembly last night for a year, and we had a turnout of 302 people.
Wow, excellent.
It was a real great time. Coach Fury came and spoke a few words, and we also had a local star. Isaiah Williams, who's a resident of Montclair, who's currently signed with the Oakland Raiders, came back and spoke to the kids, and the kids really got a kick out of that. So
He comes from a big family.
yes, he does.
Also.
Yes, he does, and he looks good, and hopefully he can latch on with the Raiders and do something out
Hopefully
there.
so.
But it was great to see great community atmosphere in Montclair, see Montclair back on.
That's how we do, right?
That's great. That's it. That's true.
They gave all kind of awards. We had over 60 kids who had Little Scholars Awards, who had a
Great.
plus average.
That's
whatever.
the
So
best.
it was great.
Good
That's
job.
the best.
Good job,
Great.
guys.
Kudos.
Kids work hard though,
Yeah.
so.
Yes.
And also, again, as we give our station identification, we like to give more views or expand our show. You can call us at 973-509-4996, or you can log on to our township website at www.montclairnjusa.org. Just click on the Montclair 34 link and follow on, and you can actually see past episodes if we missed anything. For your enjoyment, or just leave us a message so we can bring something else to the show. We are trying to expand the show a bit, so we've got the spring sports coming up.
That's right.
We'll be on the road trying to get some more highlights and expose some more things to go. So hopefully,
After a long winter.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was long but kind of quick to me.
It did.
So
It did.
if that
It
makes
went by
any
quickly.
sense.
Busy, that's why.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
So I think that's a wrap up for this week. If you guys got anything else to report?
Nothing else.
No,
Just
that's
thank you,
it.
sir.
Okay.
This.
Well, please let us know how you feel, and I hope you're still enjoying the show. And we hope you guys have a great night. My name is Garland Thornton.
I'm Pam Reilly.
I'm Roger Terry.
Good night, and God bless.